No, you do it. You opening everything so you could.
I'll open nothing. You know what I'm doing? I'm gonna turn around and be like, Foxy McFoxington, what's happening? Oh, now. Okay. All right. That's not bad. I ain't tripping. Hello. Yeah, I ain't tripping.
Well, it sounds like yeah.
It's fine. Cause as soon as we switch over, it's gonna be good. Once we go to intro.
Oh, that sounded dope. Under the echo.
All right, Mike. I've been with a baddie. Good night, Mike. Hello? Ooh, it is kind of echoey.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do this?
Yes.
All right. That's cutting. All right, we
Let me catch you on.
All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend, and with me, as always, is my beautiful co-host, called Girl Six, better known as Fox.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing today?
Hello. All right, Fox, we back. So we had to take some time off. We got some
Yeah.
podcasts out late because somebody wanted to have 103-degree fever.
Yeah, I was really sick. I'm getting over everything. The whole house was sick actually, except for you and Beans. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. Just a little lethargic and
I like to think
a
that
little
peanut butter shot
congested.
that I took in boot camp,
That did
that
what?
penicillin shot in the ass cheek,
Okay.
that one right there, that's the only reason I stayed up during these hard times.
Did it tickle?
I knock all this shit over on a dead homie. Hey, like Crip Mac be saying, oh, I put that on 55th Street. You know what I'm saying? Who you playing with? So yeah, so we took some time off. We got another podcast to catch up with that we going the audio from the last stream we're gonna get out tonight.
Yeah.
Because that's already edited. All I gotta do is hit one button, so Fox won't fuss at me about being up too late with that one. And then hopefully y'all go ahead and enjoy this one. So, Miss Executive Producer.
Yeah. So we have some topics that came in from some listeners, and we probably could roll through all of them.
I mean, it depends. You know, we might get long winded because we back. We back, baby.
Babe.
We back, baby.
Do you live in my head or
Rent free.
I don't think it's the other way around.
I pay rent to live in your head?
Mm?
I pay rent to live in your head? Or you live in my head rent free?
That's right. Because you think about me all the time. You have no choice.
Yeah, you right about
So,
that.
No one else has room up there. If he told you that, he lying. Trust me. Let's see.
Welcome
All
to
right.
Petty LaBelle.
Oh, let's see. Okay, so someone said, and you probably could read this better than I can, because
Someone said, all right. I would say relationships, society views, and a parental to youth standpoints from the past to views now. So, translating that, I'm going to take that as that's
yes. So when he said so, the relationships, it was about double standards. That was the previous conversation about
talking about what we talked about or what the
this.
viewers.
The
Okay.
view, yeah, it was double standards.
Okay.
That, and I was like, well, can you be more specific? What about double standards? And then that's when it was, well, relationships and
Oh, okay. So, Oh, I would have had to look up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So, relationship. I mean, life is a double standard. That's one of the things that's hard for us to. We talked about it before. One of the hardest things we do is we people so worried about equality over equity, and call it whatever you want. But it's like I really feel as though like maybe the thought process. You know how like something starts off with real good intentions
Mm-hmm.
and then gets derailed. That's what I feel about the feminist movement.
Okay, why are we talking about feminist movement?
Because from there it became a fight for like everything got to be equal, but people only want shit to be equal when it's convenient for
When
them.
it's convenient.
Because it's up here like, oh, you want it to be. It's up here like, oh, I'm a woman and treat me equal, but I don't want to pay the rent. It's
Our
like,
own personal comforts and biasness and things like that is attributed to that. I can understand that. Yeah, turn me up a little bit. I'm not really.
yeah, because
My voice not really popping.
you using your snotty nose voice. You sound like that kid off Martin and shit. That becomes
Roscoe?
Miss Jean.
That's Roscoe.
But yeah. So I mean, a lot of
Don't look at me like that.
cough again. I knock all this shit off. Well, can't put this on live television. About to take her out back, old Yeller style. Nah, but so I mean, everything's a double standard. Like you sit there, and I know from a man's point of view, and I'm just go ahead and be biased because I got a woman here to speak on behalf of women. So I'm gonna just like take my cape off and just talk for men here, where the double standard comes in like so many categories. Where it's like we're expected to do. Women always want like and I'm not, it's not all women. So anybody about to say, well, I'm different. Okay, cool. You're a fucking unicorn. You're magically delicious. Shut the fuck up and listen to the podcast. But but for the rest of normal people in society, like, so what happens is like for instance, it'd be like as a man from the beginning of the time, it's always been drilled in our head we got to provide and protect. I ain't saying that men do a good job, but we know the expectation. Whether we meet it or not, we know what the expectation is. But it's like realistically, what's the expectation for a woman? Because it's like everything that was deemed to be like a woman's thing has been put into the ecosystem as like everybody should be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, like, or women to say like, oh, I love a man who can cook. I ain't never said I love a woman who can do construction.
Right.
Like, I ain't never been like, man, I love a woman who could put together a 2,000-foot horse fence. Yeah, that's my type of girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like all of the things that we thought we been taught like, oh, you know, man, we got to provide, we got to protect, we got to do all of this, and we know this, and it's like we supposed to pay all of these things, right? And it's just in the perfect double standard, which I say is the gold standard of the double standard, is when a woman says something like, oh, I'll be feminine for the right man, or I'll be feminine for a man who do this, and it's this conditional femininity. Imagine if a man says some shit like that, like, I'll be masculine for the right woman. So nah, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't taking the garbage out. I don't know if you the right woman yet. You want me doing husbandly things, and you ain't give me no husband title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That women to be out here like, man, if you gay, just say that then. All that extra shit.
That is a double standard that we do have.
Yeah.
That's for certain. That's for certain. But I think the reason behind that, or one could say that one of the reasons behind that is because of everything that a man does. You know, once he see you, he knows he wants that. He wants you. He wants whatever it is that you hold in. So in order to have that transaction take place, it's kind of like, well, show me what I need to be shown before I give you this here. You understand?
Yeah, but men, it's like, so we have to show all of this stuff just to find, like that's legitimately like getting a car and being like, hey man, I want a car that do 200 miles per hour. Yeah, it'll do 200 miles per hour for the right driver, for the right price, for the right this and that. Then I buy the car and it don't do 200 miles per hour. Then, well, you should have chose your wife better, brother. Or, oh, you should have did. But, well, maybe if you drove the car differently. Like, literally, women can, like, cast off damn near everything. Even from a sexual standpoint, a woman could be like, she could be dry as the Sahara Desert. First thing she gonna say, you ain't get me turned on.
I mean, a lot of times that's what it is.
Cool. But I'm just saying, you can write off anything. If like you get into the bedroom, 9 out of 10 women are historically terrible at sex. But you know what the fact is, it's just like they'll just lay there and be like, ain't nobody else complain. Who else gonna complain when they getting their dick wet? Who's complaining? Drunk, horny, mid-stroke.
So it's not terrible then.
It gets the job done. It's a difference between having sex with a woman and using her and masturbating with another human being.
I think that when it comes to sex and all of that, it's different based on the connection that the people have.
I think that's the same for both.
Somebody can be trash to one person, but a gold mine to the next one. It depends on what type of chemistry that they
There's
share.
certain things in sex, man or woman, it's certain things that are just skill related and other things that are like once you get to know a person.
Hmm.
So I would say 50% of sex is like skill and equipment related, right? Like I show up, I have the stamina, I have the right size member, I have this and all of that stuff
So
is
who
like
told you all that?
ain't nobody ever complained.
Oh, ain't
Let me
nobody
be like a
complaining.
woman. Let me be like a woman. Ain't nobody ever complained. But no, what I'm saying is like so let's say I bring all of that to the table, and then I have a good skill set because there's certain things about sex that's going to be the same, right? Like I gotta have a good rhythm with the stroke. I can't be in there with the irk and jerk stroking, you know what I mean, pop locking and like nah. Nobody want you want a nice stroke, boom. You want to kind of know when to anticipate when your cervix about to get knocked on. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh my God, I
these
want
are
to talk
things.
about wax sex. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
So what I'm saying is like 50% of that is just like boom. This is the game. Like if you thought about like a ball player, it's like 50% of this is just like I can play. Like I can just play ball. I'm a fast wide receiver. I got great hands. This and that, da 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 da. But the rest of it is fitting into the system, right? Like that's like chemistry. It's like fitting into the system, being able to know the plays, being able to do all that stuff, right? Like oh yeah, let me bring up the chat. What up, Mario? B Wick,
Hey y'all
Bama.
in the chat.
That's a video you need to watch and react to live. All right, I'm Bam, I'm gonna get to it. Um, so yeah, so it's like some of that stuff you just bring, right? But there's an onus where a man be like, oh, like you can have sex with a dude the first time around, you know whether or not it's good. Sure, as our connection get better, you going like the sex will get better.
Yeah, that was one person I was just like, and this
Ain't
ain't
it.
getting no better.
This ain't
This
it.
is it.
You topped out.
Like you
You've reached your potential, and it is not enough, my brother.
You brought your A game, and I
You
felt like the
studied?
girl from Waiting to Exhale. Do you remember?
You
the
mean
girl-
old boy? Oh, I thought you talking about with old boy stroke. He's like, she
I
was like,
forget her name. Yeah.
She's the,
And the one who she ended up, I guess, doing it over again with. Or
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
where
'cause
she
he
ran it
didn't
back with
please
him.
her. Yeah. That's how I felt. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, but I'm telling you, the same thing happens. And that's another thing that we do, men and women that we do. And men are historically bad for it, but women are too. It's like, yo, if somebody trash, you got to figure out a way to say that. You got to treat that. We should make that like healthy to just tell people like, yo,
Yeah.
this shit is the same way. Like it's healthy to break up with somebody if it's an unhealthy relationship. Like
Yeah.
if you draining me or I'm draining you, or I'm bringing misery to your life or vice versa. It's healthy for one of us to break up with them. It should be the same thing with sex, where it's like, don't be sitting there telling like you know what you call it, the with the raise up.
Oh, the elevator.
The
Give 'em
elevator.
the
Hey,
elevator
give them the
legs
knee
up
and two hands when they ain't doing what they supposed to do.
carry him back up. Just
Yeah,
come on,
excuse
baby. Come on.
Come on up here. Come on up here, baby. Let's see what else you brought to the table. Because that's not it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. Like most dudes, it's like women give like 9 out of 10 women gonna give a horrible blowjob. Horrible. I'm talking about, and the dudes be sitting there getting their shit ate up with braces on, something like that, and just suffering. Like, all right, yeah, girl.
So I think it's important. So with communication to tell them, I do think that because, like the guy. So after that was done, I was walking around. You know me, okay, and it was all in the air. And so he was like, hey, is something wrong, whatever? And I was just like, I just looked at him with a blank look like this.
You are not
and
my
I
king.
just didn't even know what to say. And he was like, "Is everything okay? Like, how do you feel? I was like, I don't feel.
I feel cheated.
I said, I don't feel. That's what I told him. I said, I don't feel. And I said, let me tell you why. And so that's when I told him, how I felt his performance was. And he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed by it. Yeah, he was embarrassed by it. And I was like, well, I said, I don't know, like how we started talking about his experiences and everything like that. And you know him. You don't know him, but he was just all like, "Oh, I had this." Like he was, his ego was just swelling and swelling and swelling. I'm like, and this what they accepted?
But I'm telling you, women do the same thing. I'm telling you, as soon as you tell a woman, it's like, yo, you did absolutely nothing. She be like, well, ain't nobody else complain. I'm like, I mean, big butt and smile, sure they didn't complain. They wanted to hit it again. Sometimes even as a man, you'll take all of that because like, well, she look good. I could show off and this and that. And a lot of times sex is what we make it as men. Like sex is really what we make it. Like if we willing to do all the extra work, the pre-gaming and everything else, this and that, it'll turn out to be a whole lot better. But as women, it's just like, it's only so much a woman could do if a man ain't came to play. You know what I'm saying? But the double standard that is like, say like if a woman if she don't get wet, it's like, Well, you didn't do this, that, and the third, or blah, 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 blah. But as a man, it's like, man, let me not be able to get it up. Let me not be able to get it up.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. So
in the chat.
so homie said I did have to ask for a refund because it was terrible. I ain't ashamed. She ain't give me a refund, but at least I asked. That's right. You stand up for yourself, brother. Don't be out here just sitting. It's just like any other service. If you sat there and you paid for a service and it was subpar, sir, you asked for a refund.
Oh my God.
Hey, Bam, if you still listening, that one that you said, check my DMs, because the way I got the stream set up, send it to me in a text message. So that I'll be able to bring it up on my computer through a text message. Otherwise, I'll drop the stream if I try and get in Facebook another way.
And that's funny. I just can't believe that.
Yeah. So
a lot of women feel like we need to get a refund, so we're unable to.
Oh yeah. I
can't get our coochies back.
I remember you said this, like, I can't get my pussy, man.
Give me my coochie back, please.
Give it back,
because I got some folks I need to get it from.
That's why women be. That's why like you don't even ask a woman her body count, because women have turned in so many refunds on their body count and some shit like that. Like, hey, what's your body count?
He don't count.
He don't count. Under
damn sure don't
under
count.
3 minutes, he don't count. Who?
That?
Huh? You talk about jizz in my pants? Nah, he don't even count, bro. I ain't even the body right there. But yeah. So and just different things. Like even with a double standard, right? If you go back to the men's perspective with relationships, right? Like as a man, if I got a crazy body count, I'm a legend. No pun intended. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm a legend out there if I got a crazy body count. It's like, if you got a crazy body count, it's like, you are a fucking whore. You are a fucking
Did you say whore?
Big sis, what up?
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
You think that's crazy?
No, because you want me to be skillful. You want me to know or not be afraid to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah, but women be having body counts of 200, and you know what they do? Lay there.
How am I supposed to do that if I don't have any experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
so
know.
it's
I
just
don't
like
think y'all
applying for a
maximize
job. You know what I'm saying? You're applying for a job.
Yeah.
Nobody gives you a chance, but then they tell you need all this experience. Well, give me a chance and I can get that experience.
Yeah, because it is true, because that's one of the double standard for men is like we want virgin porn stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of times they'll be like, yeah, I want this girl, I want to spin on the dick like a rotisserie and hold on to the ceiling fan. You know what I mean? Get busy, do this and that, super flexible, and it's like, but you better not have more than 3 bodies. Let me tell you something. You ain't doing nothing like that off 3 bodies. Like, unless you just, it's been them same 3 bodies together
and you're
for 10 years.
And you're not doing all that to somebody who doesn't have that much experience anyway. You're just not doing that. So you might as well count that out. Okay? Whatever fantasy you have in your head.
And whatever move that is,
work,
she ain't breaking that out on the first date.
Definitely not.
Because if a woman break out spinning on your dick like a rotisserie on the first date, let me tell you something. Either, hey, it ain't much left for the date 2. She about to ghost you. Or B, let me tell you something.
She might just like him like that. That don't really necessarily mean that now. She might just really like him. I want to get him the business. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Women are the strongest creatures on earth, except for y'all kneecaps. Because y'all check engine lights come on 30 seconds in. Like, so I don't even want to hear that shit. Be on top, check engine light, come on. What did he say? Oh, yeah, that's like the double standard right there, right? So Mario said it. He was like, what do they call a key that fits any lock? A master key, right? So that's what a man is, right? Like the master key. What do you call a lock that will accept any key? A shitty lock. So that's an old saying to go to. I know that.
Lame.
I mean, but that's truthfully how they look at it. Because when you go back to it, right? So we go back to these standards of like, when a man wants for a woman, like people say like, oh, I want this old school man or something like that. And it's like, okay, you want this old school man. What does old school man entail? Well, I want him to work and pay all the bills and do this and that. First of all, I'm upper middle class by my damn self. And I'm telling you, upper middle class ain't a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Both of us are upper middle class. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you know what? The 2 upper middle class people equal upper middle class. Like, and you know, and that shit ain't a lot. So it's like, you want to pay all these bills. So it's like, you want a man to pay all the bills. But then it's like, but I want my own money. And it's not, it's like legitimately a woman to legitimately like want to stay home. Like, oh, well, I want to be a wife. You want kids? No. Like that, to me, that's crazy. Like when you want to stay at home, don't do shit and talk about something. I don't want to have kids and I want my own money. I want to do this and that, I don't want to pay none of the bills. It's like, you want to be taken care of as a child at that point.
This goes into the other listeners' topic that she had, my butterfly. I'm getting my butterfly. She said, what?
I didn't say nothing.
Hey, call it what you wanna. That's my butterfly right there.
That's right, Wick. Grown man shit. Bodies don't matter if it's clean.
She asked.
I don't want to know the body count.
She asks, "What's up with these modern women? No cooking, cleaning, etc. What's going on with that? Women, what's going on with that?"
And that's the whole thing about it. But it kind of crazy because it seems like we always wind up with the wrong people, right? Like, and generally it's people like we'll sit there and we'll say like, you'll have a woman like that. And it's kind of crazy. It's what you want too, because like women had this unrealistic perspective where they're like, "Oh, men do not want natural women" or something like that. It's like, I mean, you can't look like Harambe and be natural and think I'm supposed to think it's cute. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I want you to be natural. Like I like if a natural woman was an 8, and we just arbitrarily throwing numbers, if you offended, then you listening to the wrong podcast. But if a natural woman was an 8, like look at it and say, boom, oh she an 8. And I don't know, processed woman, enhanced woman, whatever you want to call it, or something like that, is a 9 or a 10, then yeah, I go natural. But I'm not about to go with a 1 for natural to skip out on a 9 or a 10 for enhanced. Like, no, that's crazy. Like, you still have to be attractive. Like when dudes be like, oh, women don't care about good guys. Y'all still want us to be attractive good guys, right? Like,
be attractive good guys.
Yeah, like when you see that dude and you like, damn, I do something to him right now. You know he probably ain't shit.
So, what Miss Pat say? What my mama say? Watch out for them fine ones, cause they the devil. And that's what she always told me. She's always been right. So
that's why you go ahead and get you medium handsome, like your boy. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's blue collar handsome over here. You know what I mean? Blue collar handsome. You know what I'm saying?
Them fine ones ain't never did nothing right in my life, so I'm good.
No, so all you need is medium handsome. You don't need that. But it's like that. Most people, and that's what we go back to when we was talking about before, about like, if a person, you look at him like, damn, that's a 10, they probably ain't got a lot else because they've been riding off that 10. It's kind of like how, like you know how many ball players you'll see, and I'll relate it a lot to sports, but like how many ball players you done seen when it's like, even like on Boondocks, dude could dribble out the gym, shake everybody. Can't make a jump shot to save his life. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It was like you see this beautiful man and woman. It's like, damn, they look good. And it's like they can't communicate, cook, clean, work, do nothing, this and that. They ain't got shit else to bring to the table. Except they fine as hell. So it's like, do you want to walk around and carry this trophy?
Yeah, I mean,
because this trophy gonna cost you. Yeah,
people do. They carry the trophies. So.
Yeah, I mean, and if you can afford to carry the trophy,
the one who doesn't look like her, that's the one they push aside and they just keep.
But women do the same thing because you know what? A lot of times dudes go through is like dudes will be good guys, and then what happens? If you look at women and you look at the men that they deal with. And you might possibly be included in this conversation. But you look at the men they deal with, and when they're young, a lot of times those men that they deal with is fine as hell, right? They're like, oh yeah, that dude fine, that dude fine, that dude fine. And then they get drugged, and then they get 6 baby daddies, and then they get 12 kids, and then they come back to the nice guy like, you know what? I need some stability. Like really what they're saying is like, I need some stability in my life. And what come out of their mouth is, you know what? I'm so sorry that I really just never noticed how beautiful you are. And they start running game and this and that. It's like, oh, you desperate. Your light's about to get cut off. You desperate.
Don't be doing us like that because the men be the same way.
Well, what I'm saying is like it's the same thing. It's like men that we'll go ahead and chase beauty or something like that. But you think about it, it's like men will be like, and then like the objectifying thing. Fuck all that we was talking about. Objectifying. That's the craziest thing in the world to me. Women to be like, I don't want to be objectified. And then y'all come outside. Cleavage down to your nipples, ass jiggling in the summer dress or something like that. Yeah, you all over the place doing all of that, and then as soon as a man say something like, damn, it's like, act like you got some sense. But dude, come through the gas station with some gray sweatpants on, he might get his dick grabbed by a woman. It's like, well, it's okay.
Anyway, we're doing all that, okay?
You can speak for every woman?
I would say, yes, I am every woman, and they're not going to do all of that. We ain't just going to walk up to somebody like, yo, and pulling on strings and stuff. We ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do that.
We can go back to a previous podcast.
I only did that because it was done in the club setting. Okay. So I didn't like all that groping. So you gonna grope me, I'm gonna let you know what it feel like. Here you go, hey, what's up? You good? You backing up now. Anyway, that what I said was not cap.
But no, what you said too, you was like sometimes some some innocent ones just got it just because.
It was for the culture. You know what I'm saying?
So rape culture, another double standard. Rape culture is another double standard. When a woman does something like they don't even take it. It's a perfect example. Jim Jones. Jim Jones got molested by he got molested by his mom or whatever. Everybody was up making all types of Twitter jokes. But these the same bros that'll be on there lit crazy talking about something. Believe the victim. Me too. All this other shit. And it's like, but Jim Jones is fucked up because his mom molested him. And it's like, it's a joke because it's a dude. Don't nobody take nothing serious when dudes say something. Dudes ain't supposed to do. Dudes ain't supposed to cry. We ain't supposed to do nothing. Like a woman be like, "Oh, I want you to be vulnerable." First time a dude go ahead and be vulnerable and cry, it's like, man, if you don't shut your soft ass up and pay this rent.
I mean, the 20 minutes a day cry, like we said, it's sufficient. You know, that was that was a gun to your head, by the way, calling back on the, what, how many podcasts ago? Maybe like
I don't know.
2?
If you look on YouTube or anything else, it's a 9
Oh,
minute
yeah,
clip.
we did a clip. A
9
snippet.
minute clip of just that gun to your
on
head.
that gun to your head. Gun to your head, would you rather cry for 20 minutes every single day or not cry at all? Ever.
So Mario said in the chat, he said, some of the chicks I see on TikTok, he spelled TikTok like Tic Tac, but like there's some K's in there, my brother.
It's probably the autocorrect.
What's auto? It's gonna autocorrect it to some shit that also ain't a word. Like, but anyway.
I'm just trying to look out for it, bro.
Yeah, nah, Mario cool though. But it's what? Damn, the comment just jumped. So some chicks I see on TikTok be straight catfishing. She was a legit 3. Whole top row of her teeth was missing. And when she put some dentures and a whole lot of makeup on, she was a 9. Girls,
Right.
oh no, let me finish this comment. Girls only want the hot guys when they're young. When they 30 to 35, they want a guy with benefits and a 401k.
I mean, because you grow up, that's true. But wait, how was she a 3 with a whole top row missing? Why is that a 3 legitly? I don't understand. That should be
I think
way
he was trying
lower
to be
than
polite.
that.
How much lower? It ain't much lower to get to a 3. There's 2, there's 1. You gonna give a 0?
a settle.
Settle. Yeah, and then it's like so it's always like women objectify men at like a ridiculous of like women, like you heard women who do I got the 3-6 rule. He got to be 6 feet tall, 6-pack, and 6 figures, and it's like, and young lady, and then that's when that question start coming across.
That rule, so
yeah, you never heard of a lot of things, and we done learned on this podcast, like
heard that.
buffalo,
like, you said 6
bison, all types of
6
shit.
feet tall, 6. I thought it was
6
like, I'm like, what, 6-pack, 6 kids, 6 what? What are we talking about?
Lord, I don't think nobody looking for the 6 kids, little mama. That ain't what they looking for now.
Like 6 what? What are we talking about?
Yep. Yeah, so it's wild. We ain't even start the audio, but it's cool. I'll just strip it from the video.
Oh my God.
I'll just strip it from the video. It's cool. It's already running. It is what it is. That's just gonna be the audio. But yeah, so like women want that. You like think about just the arbitrary ass rules. You ain't never heard of men. How many men told you, oh, I can't date you because you 5'9"? Ever?
I'm thinking.
Ever?
Mm-mm.
Dude,
No.
you had dudes in the dude in wheelchair ain't say nothing about being 5'9". Midgets is trying to holler.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what?
I like tall women though. Okay, but I don't like short men though. So we have a dilemma.
So we both can't get nothing off the top shelf at the supermarket. Now I got to put you on my shoulders and
get
shit.
mad at me. So you just because you prefer a taller woman because you are
okay, cool.
challenged. In
So
your
then
height,
we get back to that. Then we get back to that double standard.
Doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to say, "Hey, I prefer someone who's taller than I am."
So why can't men say the same thing? Whenever a man starts saying he hate black women, or he hate women, or he hate this type of woman, or something like that, dude could be like, "Well, I like my women fit." But he don't like.
You just gotta take that. I had that happen to me before. Somebody was just like, "Oh, you don't be in the gym every day." I'm chunky. Listen, even before
I just looked
was
at them
chunky,
cookies over there that said chunky. Chunky.
Even before I was chunky,
Why you gotta put so much?
I feel like I'm chunkier than I was chunky then. So you see, I had the chunky. It's not chunky. It's chunky.
I think I'm liking chunky.
So yeah. And so the guy was like, "Do you go to the gym every day?" I was like, "Nah, I don't go to the gym every day, and whatever." And he was like, "Oh, I just prefer somebody that can go to the gym with me and go to the gym." I said, "I'll go with you, but it ain't gonna be every day." So he was just like, "Nah, you beautiful, but I'm good. I'm all right." I'm like,
That,
all
but
right.
no, that's your,
Aight.
that's that is your
That's his
ego.
preference.
No, that's your ego getting the best thing. Cause that dude said what he wanted. He didn't disrespect you and say like, I don't
wasn't
fuck
mad.
fat
What are you
girls or
talking
nothing.
about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you
I
said
was
that
like,
happened to me.
aight.
I'm not talking about
That
somebody
happened to
being
me.
reasonable. I'm talking about you tell a woman like, oh well, I prefer a woman not to have on all that makeup. And then you know what women say when they can't go out without makeup? Lose their goddamn mind because they know they look like me without makeup. And they're like, you don't let me. Well, we don't give a fuck because
like
you ain't
you.
paying our bills. You know what I'm saying? Girl just put on a wig and look like me over here with long hair talking about some. You said you wanted it natural. Long live Harambe, bitch. What you mean? wanted the natural life. Fuck out of here, man. Hold on. What we got? Men get abused when their girl wants to do it, but the man don't. then the man got to do it so she can feel better and he can go to work the next day.
Wait.
This is what you gotta. You can't invalidate. This is what people going
through. Let me say something. You're in a relationship with this woman. That's your job as her man to please her, to satisfy her, just as much as it is for her to do the same for you.
Yeah, but you know what? So, this is the thing. So a man cannot want to have sex for whatever reason. It could be turmoil in the relationship. It could be he tired because he's working 17 jobs or some shit like that. He could be doing all of this stuff, and women will be like, I don't want to hear that shit. I want hard dick and no excuses.
I don't want to hear that shit because because that same tiredness you got, if somebody is walking across the street or whatever the case is, and you see her and you want to go screw her, no, we ain't doing nothing.
But what I'm saying is,
you can't even get popping here. So how you expect for me? How you expect for yourself to go over there and get popping over there? I don't think so. You tried it. No.
Yeah. No. So what I'm saying is, women to go with the same shit when it's like, oh well, when I'm not being taken care of, and when I'm stressed out because I'm doing all of this shit with the kids, and I'm stressed out and this and that, and a woman don't want to give you nothing. It's like, oh, you should. If you wanted. Like women, like a lot of times you'll hear women, and I'm talking about plenty of married men that said this when it's like. A woman to say something like, well, if you wanted to have sex, why don't you take some of this stress off my shoulders? Motherfucker, let a man say that. Like, well, if you want to do this and that, why don't you take some of these bills off my shoulder if you want some dick? She be like, if you gay, just say that then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's, and you know that's some real shit. It's like, women don't want to hear that shit. When they want dick, they want dick. They want hard dick, no excuse. No. But it's like, when they ain't in the mood because a man done pissed them off or did whatever, oh, it's our fault. It's our fault. We got to get it together. We got to get right. We got to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, oh, because I ain't help you with the dishes, I can't crack no cheeks because I ain't help you with the dishes.
I think some of it, too, is that you could find all excuses in the world to not do whatever it is with X person, but let X person not be available and other persons are available, then you gonna find energy.
Women do it all the time. Every time you hear about
popping in.
Every time you hear a woman having an affair, that shit comes down to it's like, well, my man wasn't doing. Well, what was your man doing? Oh, working to take care of your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like a dude to be sitting in, it's like he working his ass off to take care of a woman, so he not giving her the pipe the way she want the pipe. So you know what she do? Go fuck some broke dude. She go fuck Jody. You know what I'm saying? So she go fuck bum ass Jody over. Yeah, and Jody be laying it down. You know why Jody be laying it down? Rewind, call back to another podcast because he got broke homie dick. He just got his dick on the charger playing 2K all day, not working 2 or 3 jobs. So yeah, Jody can slang that motherfucker about 4 or 5 times a day. You know why? That's all Jody has to do.
That's his job.
Jody does not get a 10-4. He does not get a W-2. Jody does not do taxes.
Would you say that everybody needs a Jody or a Jodiette in their life then?
I'm not saying everybody need a Jody or Jody. I'm saying everybody need to be fucking realistic and be reasonable and understand that, yo, you got the same bullshit with you that I got with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like in our relationship, we both got some bullshit with us. It's not like just a one-way thing, and it's like, you a motherfucker, and I can be a motherfucker sometimes too. You just live.
First of all, why you gotta just like, I am the motherfucker, okay? And you just sometimes the motherfucker, all right? You a hidden motherfucker that other motherfuckers don't know about, okay? But I know you. I know you, motherfucker.
I know the real you.
I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Don't make me change you easy.
All right? You can see my motherfucker up front. That's where I am.
Yeah, you like Southern racism. I'm more like Northern racism.
Southern's like, I like my racism up front.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Don't like you.
Hey, you pull up and they're like, hey, we can't serve you here, and this is sundown town. Don't let the sun set on your black ass Nevada.
Hey, give it to me up front. Let me know what I'm dealing with.
I'm a Boston racism. I'll let you pay for your food and call you the N-word on the way out the door. You know what I'm saying? You Southern racism is different. So what we got here? Shakita says, she said, I never heard of the 6 rule either. She also threw in there about earlier about her man Fine talking about Jeff. You know,
he the devil. Then I don't trust it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't trust no man with that much hair on his forearms. Don't trust him at all.
Oh, that tie meat he was showing.
That tie meat. Hey, Jeff was out there trying to break the internet with that tie meat.
Looking at them ties, Keita. Oh my goodness.
All right, Mario said Chris Ortiz. Oh, Chris, no, he's referring to somebody on TikTok. Princess Glitterhead, spelled all weird. I don't care. But Mario, when Jim said he learned to tongue kiss from his mom, I laughed from a healthy place. It's messed up, but it's but the double standard is real.
Oh, that's one of those. If you laugh, you're going to hell. That's.
I mean, I don't laugh at way worse shit.
That's crazy, but that's sad though. I feel so sad for him that he had to experience that. I mean, no one should discount that
Tony, what up, bro?
experience because he's a child.
Yeah,
You know, he is innocent.
and
He's a child.
And even with the society standards, you think about it. Like, think about this: if a teacher touch a female student, so like perfect example, a teacher fuck a female student, and say a male teacher was to have sex with one of our girls. Well, first time you see a black person shoot up a school, because I'm in there. I'm in there. Your boy is in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. I'm laying it down. I'm
supporting it.
I'm in there saying it down. Fox, throw me another mag. I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? But when that shit happens to boys, it's like whatever, and that's a man and female perspective. But what we wind up doing is like, because even as men, we'll say that like we'll sit there and look at some dude, some like 17-year-old boy crying about, and let the teacher be cute. We like, shit, I would have cracked them cheeks right now. What are you crying about? You know, this and that, da 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 da. You crying like Charlamagne the God had a story where he had sex. He was having like a threesome or something, and he was having like a come to Jesus moment where he was crying because he felt like he was failing God, and he was like God emotion.
Oh, I remember that. I listened to that.
Yeah, and he did all that, and then he called his dad. He was talking about killing himself. He called his dad, and his dad showed up in his and you know, like what we would expect for a dad to show up. Like, my son called me with that. I'm gonna think it's kind of wild, but I'm gonna talk my son off the ledge. Just love my son. His dad showed up with the exact same way any older man in my family would have showed up and said like, "You crying because you had two butt naked ass women in the bedroom having sex with you crying." Well, where they at then? Where they at? Then I go ahead and finish the goddamn job. Then obviously you're not a closer, son.
He had to put things in perspective.
Yeah, he had to put things in perspective. You crying over pussy? Like, what is you crying about? So it's a man and woman perspective. Even when it was a kid, I can't think of his name. He a linebacker, and dude built like a pro already. And then you got women in there. He's 16, 17 years old in the picture, and they like, hell, he could tackle me anytime. You know, this and that. You got these old nasty ass aunties that's like old girl off of next Friday. No. You know what I'm saying? Old boy, wife off next Friday. Come get auntie a kiss. You know what I mean? You got these old nasty ass old. Look at them. That's why, you know, I be guarding my son.
It's still pedophilia. It's still pedophilia.
Yeah, it's still pedophilia, but it's like, oh, it's different. We ain't going to say nothing about it. Like a woman could be an adult, and a man could be 20 years older. Everybody talking about that's kind of she 21, he 41. Oh, I'm getting pedophile vibes. You know how women always say, it's giving me pedophile, it's giving some shit like that, right?
You know what, you gonna tone this down about how you talk about us, because you always don't be doing all that
shit. Like, we period. Like, just
period. Okay, hey, don't do that.
We understand when you stop talking. There's a period there. We understand how the English language works. There's no need for this.
It's a big ass period though. Period.
Thank you for listening. Anyway, there was that female teacher that had sex with her student and had his baby, and they gave her little to no time. And then when she got out, she went back to him. And now they are married with a whole family.
Yeah, they end up getting married.
But then look at dudes like what's the old cat name? Damn, I can't think of his name. I want to say it start with a T. He married like his daughter-in-law or something like that, like young Asian girl. Him and his wife adopted him or something. He kind of like groomed her and then left his wife and married her. Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
Is it Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not Tim Allen. I'm thinking Tim and Toolman.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen. But it's like Woody Allen. We like, you were the scum of the earth. Old girl out there living her best life with a student.
He's been grooming her since he got her.
That's filthy.
You know, it is.
But it's like the double standard of like creepy shit. Like, for instance, if a man say something, like anytime a man says something like he was coercing or something, forcing or something, like say he feels he was pushed into a relationship, pushed into a situation by a woman, it's always, oh, well, you had a choice. You a man. You should do this and that, da 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 da. But then you got women who crying about like producers telling them like, hey, you want this role, you got to drop to your knees or something like that. You a grown ass woman. You could just say no.
Yeah, that's
true. Then you can't suck 30 dicks for 30 movies, and then once you don't get no movies no more, be like, you know what, that was wrong. Because you're broke. It's wrong because you're broke.
Your money's not coming in. Yeah, that's true. There has to be some accountability when it comes to stuff like that too. Well, he forced me to know he didn't force you. He didn't have a gun to your head. You chose to do that in order to get the role. Now, by which the way, excuse me, which he did that was wrong. He should not have to place that stipulation on you and that ultimatum, like, hey, do this
Yeah.
or you're not going to get
Yeah,
that.
that's
Now,
wrong.
that's completely wrong.
That's wrong. I'm 100%
But you still
wrong.
didn't have to do it, though.
Yeah, it's not like, it ain't like gun to your head. And that's why I say, like, even with rape, like, I don't know, and I still haven't looked it up, and I haven't done my due diligence. But I feel like the shit should be kind of like murder. How you got like murder, you got homicide, you got manslaughter, you got these different levels. Because there's a big difference between, like, when we was talking about sex offenders. Like, it's a big difference between I pissed too close to a school zone and I fucked a kid.
Right.
And it's the same thing. It's a big difference between me catcalling you on a construction site, and that's sexual harassment.
Yeah.
And I brutally rape you in the alley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's two. I'm not saying
or
either
I walk
one's
up
right.
to you and grab your breast.
Yeah,
you know
walk up to you and grab your breast. Like, that's a big difference between me saying, like, looking at you, like, looking at your cleavage, like, damn.
You sexually harass me all the time. This is crazy. I'm calling.
You calling who?
On Jesus. Whoever he is.
Yeah, well, Jesus.
The Lord.
Jesus from
all
the call out to be
lords.
here.
I'm calling all the lords.
You know what they gonna say? She had her first period already, right? You good. That's what all the lords gonna say. That's what all the lords gonna say. She already had a period, right? Because once she bleed on the cloth, she's ready. Yeah, I paid my bride price. I gave up a goat.
God.
I gave up a goat.
I'm so through with you. This is what I gotta go through, guys.
You ain't never through with me.
This is what I gotta go through.
You ain't never through with me. Just to get a quick break up in here. Get a quick break up in here. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to drop the Instagram for this one because I gotta go live. Yeah. So I hate politics, and anybody who listens to this podcast know I don't really get down with the politics. But let me tell you what our commander-in-chief, president of the free world,
can't make this up.
You know what I'm saying? Said, because today is
Dr. Martin
Luther King holiday. You know what I'm saying? One of the most influential people in the history of God's green earth. You know what I mean? So let's hear. Let me go ahead and unblock this soundtrack, and let's hear what our commander-in-chief said about Martin Luther King. Hold on, run it back.
Who back there saying, mm-hmm? Who is saying back there? Who lady is back there co-signing that?
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm going to just run this first line back that all that matters to me. Yeah, I'm just saying, Dr. King changed the free world.
First of all, we have a whole ass holiday.
Got a whole holiday.
How can he have that in his brain? How can he formulate his mind to think that and his lips to have that imparted on the world?
And profess those words out of his mouth. So my thing that's crazy.
On this very day, on this MLK day.
I don't know if it was today that he did it, but obviously this going to be when the video pop up.
But it's very close to MLK day regardless.
Yeah, so my thing is just, obviously I don't be doing talking shit about the commander-in-chief. I don't do none of that shit. It's like, obviously I'm in the military, I work for whoever in that office, but that's some wild shit to say, bro.
I don't. So now, with that being said, Sleepy Joe, okay, your ass got a problem. Like, this is crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. That's ridiculous that you can even make that type of comparison.
I just want somebody to show me, and maybe I'm just ignorant, right? Which is a possibility. Show me the facts that Mr. Floyd's death changed more actual laws and action than the death of Dr. King.
And holiday, and the fact that they changed your life because you off today, okay?
Yeah. Like,
and you get probably paid for it. So let's start there.
It's like, yo, that is just some wild stuff. It's like Dr. King is literally the poster boy for. He's the poster boy for, like, whenever black people get upset about some shit, we're like, we should tear some shit up. They're like, Dr. King wouldn't want that. Like, non-violence. Like, this dude had, like, and he had his downfalls just like everybody else, right? Dr. King One wild thing, Dr. King wouldn't make it in today's world.
No, he wouldn't make it in today's world. I mean, I believe everybody was for their time. And
Yeah.
it's sad.
What I'm
But
saying
it
is,
is the truth,
because
though.
you know Dr. King with TMZ out there,
No.
while he was out there cracking cheeks while Coretta at home, they would have got Dr. King the hell up out of here.
So if y'all don't know about that, y'all got to go back to another podcast that we did about Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yo, Dr. Martin Luther
Yeah.
King was cracking cheeks out
It's
there on the
like-
civil rights movement.
But, of course, everybody just portrayed him to be the preacher, the this and the that. But anyway,
Yeah,
he's
because
just a man.
Yeah, he's just a man. Every man got their faults or whatever, right? And it goes back to what I said, like we live in a time in society now where we wouldn't let Malcolm Little become Malcolm X. It was like, nope, you're a womanizer, you went to jail, you did this and that, cancel him. And it's just so easy, like with that cancel idea, it's like it's so easy to just cancel somebody and everything great they did because you ain't never did shit, right? Like when you ain't never did shit, it's easy to cancel people. Just like when people will say something like, they're like, oh, well, how you pro-black if you in the military? Well, I ran a voters group back home and stuff like that. And it's like a whole lot of shit that I did and everything for my community and all types of shit. And it's like, I did this. I vote on these subjects. I'm the president of a Black Gun Owners and Education Gun Club, you know what I'm saying, in Florida. And the whole nine. So I do all of this. And it's like, what you do? Oh, I make some tweets. You know what I'm saying? I make some posts on Instagram and Facebook. I make a whole bunch of like crazy shit and everything else like that. It's like, yeah, so you post some stuff on Instagram. You put no work in. But these are people like, well, you should just get out the military because there's no way you could do something from inside the system. It's like, that's easy for you to say when you tweeting from your mother basement.
Yeah.
Like you on somebody else's Wi-Fi talking about civil rights movements and stuff like that and what black people need on someone else's Wi-Fi,
someone
my brother.
else's, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you out here on the track phone telling me what I need to do for black people. So it's like, it's crazy how we living there.
We got a question in the chat by somebody, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so listen.
It's re-enlisting the bad
That's
idea.
your own personal. We cannot tell you what to do and how to if you should re-enlist or not. You have to think about yourself, what it has done for you, for your family, or not, and make that decision. You have to weigh that on your scales.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I was a young guy in the military right now, and last I heard, and I might just be misinformed, but they start going away from like you know how we get the 20-year retirements? Like as soon as I hit 20, I'm gone, appreciate the check, and you fuck me this long, you got to take me to dinner, right? Now they like got to where they're like match 401ks, it's more of a business and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like you got to do what's best for you, right? So, and got to understand that you got to get the most out of the military because it's way more than a job. Like when people say like, oh, well, you know, if you get out of it after X amount of time, it's whatever. It's just like if I had to work the job, somewhere. It's not because it's like at a regular job, I'm not getting deployed. I'm not going to Iraq and Afghanistan when I work at Amazon. I'm not working at, yeah, that's what I was saying. No 20-year retirement. They'll just match a certain amount on TSP, which is the 401k. So it's like, but I'm going underway and being away from my family. I'm going underway. I'm going on deployments. I'm doing field ops. I'm out here doing land navigation and all this other garbage. And I can't justify that. I can't justify that in my mind to be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to do that for the match money. So if you smart with your money, if you really smart with your money, you live below your means and you can stomach it. You don't got like a wife, kids and everything like that. I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Wait, how much is the percentage of the 401k that they're matching? Because that's a big deal. All right. So you're talking about taking
I want to say like 10%.
20-year benefit away. That's the reason why most people want to get in because of those benefits that they will have coming out.
Well, the rest of the benefits will still be the same. And people got a real convoluted view of like what we get with benefits. Like people think you're going to go to the military, get in there, go to Iraq or something like that, or go to Afghanistan. And then when you do it, I'm going to get to that. But then when you do it, it's like, yeah, you get out. And it's like, sure, you can apply for VA benefits, but you're not getting a bonus.
Oh, wow.
You're not getting a bonus at all. I mean, not a bonus, but you're not getting a retirement check unless you get like medically discharged, or you might get a severance check if they press you out for certain reasons or something like that where they break your contract. But if you just do like 5, 10 years, 15 years, 18, 19 years and just go home, you ain't getting nothing. Like, appreciate you working here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like any other, it's like leaving McDonald's at that point, except whatever you get from Veterans Affairs.
Yeah. I think that just you said that the only match is 5%. Look, my job matches 6%. Okay, so
How many times you got shot at your job?
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say like it's not worth it for me. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you what to do for you and what it's doing for your family throughout your service.
I mean, granted, now there's other things you got to look at too. Like there's things you got to look at. Like there's like if you're married, you're gonna have spousal preference for
Mm-hmm.
going somewhere. There's gonna be certain things that you go out throughout your career where you'll get some schools that can help you out, like certain rates or something like that. You get some preference with jobs. Like there's ups and downs. It depends on what you really want. Like if you plan on getting out, I mean, like if you plan on getting out or whatever, then you just got to make it right. Like you got to do what's best for you, right? Either way, you
Mm-hmm.
always it's always gonna be the what ifs, right? Like you're gonna have the what ifs, right? Some people staying because they're scared. Some people staying because they love it. Some people staying they ain't got shit else to do,
Mm.
and people get out for all the same reasons. So you got to make that decision for yourself. Me, by the time I stopped having fun in the military, I was already over 10 years. So by the
Yeah.
time I was like, I don't think this is fun no more. Like
Yeah.
everybody, it's like a lot of these cats are soft as two ply, this and that, a lot of other things. But there's also some things that I would never trade for, like that I've done in the military and everything. So I mean, if you got questions like that, bro, you could just hit me up. I mean, we could talk
Yeah.
about it or
I will
something
talk
like
about
that,
it
but
after the podcast too.
we ain't
So
gonna hold it. But yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards. But yeah, man, that's a decision, bro. Pops is here. You know what I mean? Unc is here for all the proper information. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you get on your way. But what else we had on the docket, Miss Fox?
yeah, that was oh, okay. So that was it with the with my butterfly and oh, the parental views versus the standpoints for past or present now. I believe the biasness probably in that as well that we haven't really
Well,
touched on.
so I put up a great post that if you was to go to my Facebook, you'd be able to see because I can't bring it up on the computer. But we have so much trauma from the way that we was raised
Mhm.
that we ain't never dealt with. Like we got raised by parents. Hey, love you too, bro. Be safe. Um, we got a lot of trauma and everything from our parents and everything else who also needed counseling. Like I don't know anybody our age that we could talk to their parents and be like, "Oh, you're really well rounded and didn't need any form of counseling or something like that,"
Mhm.
right? But it's just weird. The times change. It's just so many variables that go into making that decision that it's hard to say. Like back then, they was whooping ass.
Yeah, now you can't whoop your kids' ass the way that I got whooped. And then you can,
We got community ass whoopings.
yes, and then the argument too, is that even beneficial for the child? That is still inflicting trauma regardless,
Yeah,
right? It still is. So it is a negative because any negative experience is a negative experience. You can't take a
yeah,
positive
and
from
it's
a negative.
hard to come from a standpoint where it's like it's a lot of things like you could go to where it's like I don't know, like you could take precautions. Like for instance, like when I did spank my kids or something like that, I didn't do it while I was upset. Like say I'm
Yeah.
pissed off and I was about to get on their ass, I'm like,
Hmm.
hey, you know what? I'm gonna go take a walk and cool off. When I'm back, I'm on your ass,
Yeah.
right? Like, but when you come back and you done cooled off, it's kind of like now you just trying to get your point across. So it's like this is a punishment. It's just that not a I'm gonna beat your ass so I feel better. Like a lot of
Hmm.
ass whoopings I took as a kid was like I messed up, so you gonna whoop my ass till you feel better. Like now you using me as your therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm your release from everything that you dealing with
Yeah.
and all the shit that you got going on. And you just beat my ass because it's a release.
Yeah.
And now all that do is inflict violence at me. And then because we got so many people, and that post I made was just saying like, and there was so many cases where it's like, people who've dealt with stuff. Pe- fucking, fucking day, hey, yo, yo, Dave from my gut group, he said I chopped my son right in the throat when he talking sideways. And you know what? Some things is called for, but I think like I know it's some ass whoopings that I got, and it's some ass whoopings that I got where it's like I understood, like the purpose was understood, and like one time I got ass whooping for somebody, and like when they said that, like this hurts me more than it hurt you, I actually believed them. Like, damn, you crying more than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, when people said, like, this hurts me more than it hurts you, why? Because your shoulder heating up? You know what I'm saying? The
It get
arthritis is
warmed
acting
up.
up. You know what I'm saying? It's like the clicking in your shoulder is hurting you. Because I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, my ass
Yeah.
is on fire.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot to learn from it. But we got those cases where we've been whooped, and it's like, how well do you feel? And you got your ass whooped. We both got ass whooped growing up. How well do you feel that would like did well in your upbringing?
So I think that it's to instill fear for one. So I think that part of it can work. But that's also, taking back to that slave mentality. So that does work. So as far as installation of fear, but I don't think that I think that if my parents would have talked to me about the things that they expected from me or didn't want to see me do, I think that would have been way more effective than beating me or having me hold like these. Back then the dictionary was like this damn thick.
Yeah.
Okay. Having me hold books and encyclopedias like this with one leg or crossing my ear and my one leg up and doing all these kind of crazy
But your body was
torture
looking
techniques.
phenomenal when you got out the house, though. After that last mango season, you was looking real good.
Yeah, I was a juicy fruit, you know what I'm saying? But but yeah, so I think that it would have been way more effective if they would have just talked to me. So now I have the same thing. You pass that type of trauma down to your kids. And I used to beat my kids, and to the point where they're like, you need to stop beating them. How you going to
That's the
telling
wild
me
shit.
to stop beating my kids and you used to tear my ass up?
On God, my grandmother and my grandma, anybody who know me know about OG. Like, they know about my grandmother. And I'm going to tell you something about Sadie, a.k.a. Christina Jackson. She was on my ass. And when I mean she cussed like a sailor, I mean she used to cuss like a sailor. When I'm talking about shoot, dumb mother, bop, beep, beep. I'm talking about like if there was the boop sound on her cussing, that should
just be all the color bars.
And it sounded like somebody died at the hospital. That should just flatline. Like, that's what it sounded like when she come in. Let your ass have it, right? I remember I came home and she wanted to get on my ass and she went to go swing. I hit her ass with the Matrix because I didn't already start boxing with my godfather, right? So she went for the swing. She came for the backup. Bob, weave. She up there like, get your ass later. This and that, da 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 da.
She had to think about it like,
okay.
Got a little swift.
Hey, she caught my ass fresh out the tub with that soft skin. That soft skin, and went ahead and split me. Split me with a sheet coming out, too. I'm coming out there in the towel going in there, going to the room to go dry off.
Snatch that towel.
No, she had like a sheet or something wrapped up and hit me with the towel like you do in the locker room.
Oh.
Boy, I almost lost a limb.
Bow.
Like I was talking about, like, I'll be in handicap parking right now, fuck around with Nana.
That's why he's so sensitive about that booty.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Hey, say it so something happened to me.
Yeah.
They don't know it's you.
Nah, I would never let anything happen to you in 1080p. Like, no, but like grandma now, like, she's sitting there and it's me and my first cousin, right? My first cousin, Medina, she like my big sister. And we sitting there with the kids over there and grandma. So, and we said something like, man, what the fuck is you doing or something like that to the kids or something like, oh, don't be talking to the kids like that. This and that. It's like, you used to cuss us out so bad. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, you talk to Medina, it's like, we used to get laid. Like, my mama, God rest her soul, we knew all the curse words and how to use them before we hit puberty. Like, I'm talking about, our profanity game was proper. Like, we'll come to school, somebody say something, it's like, we'll let it go. It's
so funny because when adults start cursing, they cuss and say things that don't even go with the cuss word.
No, she was legit.
Goddamn ass pink slip. What the?
What the mother damn you doing?
I know. Like,
ma'am,
they don't even sound right. What are you doing? That's how mad you get them.
Nana was on point though, and then Nana said something, and she was up to like, man, they get on my damn nerves, and then she was like, excuse my French.
I heard that.
No, she's
in English and living color.
No, she said, excuse my French. And me and Medina sitting there looking like, excuse my French? Is this the same woman that told me I'm the dumbest son bitch that ever wore God's green earth?
Oh my God.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that my Nana? You know what I mean? You looking like, is this my king? Like, is this my Nana? Sitting here talking about some, you don't talk to the kids like that. You don't do this and that. But it's crazy because they kind of learn where their mistakes at, but it's too late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, you sit there and you be like, well, you used to do this to me. But they'd be even dumber if they learned from their mistakes and still decided to do the same dumb shit, right?
That's the nature of parenting, though. Parenting it's a school. It's a trial. You learn from your kids learn from you. Like, there is no cookie cutter way to parent a child. And you can do everything by your books that you read. You can do everything perfect. That child is its own soul. They come here on their own journey to learn whatever it is they need to learn their way.
Come with their own bullshit.
So you can say and do whatever you want, however you think it's supposed to be prim and proper. Them kids still going to do what they need to do in order to have their own soul growth. That's it.
Yeah. And
that's just the bottom line.
And I think a parent, in the way I look at leadership, right? Like, So like when I came up in the military, like for an example, when I came up in the military, just shut up and do your job. You don't need to know why. Hey, do X, Y, and Z. Cool, do it. If you didn't do it, you ain't going home. The end, right? Like this and that. You don't do this, you ain't going home, or you're gonna die. Like that. Those are your two options. You want to die? You want to stay here all night? No, I don't want to do that. Then do it. Okay, yeah, you got it. Right? Don't even know why the hell I'm doing X, Y, Z. But now we're in a different generation where like these kids need the why, and like for all the different reasons that we do it. So it's like we have to adjust our parenting to not be like our parents were. Even though they didn't do it, like we have to believe in mental health issues. We have to believe in therapy. We have to believe in all those things. Also, we don't have to completely buy in on all the new shit that everybody's selling either. So it's just about like as a parent, it's like we have to find that balance and everything else like that we had. And let me run some couple things out the chat. So
I think that before you do that, the thing that pisses me off is for someone who doesn't have kids to tell you what is a bad parent.
Yeah.
Like, you ever raised one of these?
Yo, me and Bunny was talking about that shit.
So you can't tell me what is bad parenting based on what you think a parent should be.
Yeah, it's up to like that's like when people talk about
that kills me when
people
say
talk
that.
about like it's like people talking about combat. Like if I was over there, I'd do this, that, and the third. You ever been shot at?
Right.
You ever been shot at? Tell me what you gonna do when you get shot at, right? But but it's also that like it's like when we was talking about the joke. We be up to like, man, fuck them kids. And most parents, if you say that, she be like, man, fuck them kids. Parents is like, yeah, fuck them kids. Like I say, in the words of the great Michael Jordan and Kirk Franklin, fuck them kids. Parents get it.
You know my movie Wanderlust, right?
Yeah.
That is my movie, guys. Jennifer Aniston and I forgot the other guy's name.
Oh.
Anyway, Wanderlust. I'm gonna tell you. They're like, yo, everything that you feel as a parent, they say that.
Yeah, because it's like as a parent, when we say fuck them kids, we know we don't mean, you know what I mean? We don't be looking at kids like fuck them kids.
We
it's
don't say it.
Yeah, most of us don't. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We'll do that, but it's like as parents, we understand that, and it's kind of like being part of any group, right? Like any group where you going through a traumatic experience. And raising kids is a fucking traumatic experience. So it's like going to a AA meeting and somebody who never drank before, like, why don't you just stop drinking? If you don't, shut your ass up.
Shut up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never been part of nothing like this.
It like a lot inside of me to
when you sit there and you
be calm and just say what you're going to say calmly.
Yeah, and it's like you give everything in your heart. And so you take money out of your pocket, time out of your day, give up your whole life to try to benefit this child. And then they got the nerve to be ungrateful, bitch, complain, whine about something. You up here like, I fucked up. I should just kill you right now. Like you start thinking about this.
Send you back.
It's up to like,
let me get a refund.
Hey, how long? I remember asking. I remember calling my homegirl, asking like, hey yo, how long is it before you? I mean, I called. Actually, it was Medina. I called him like, how long? What's the longest you can go before you get an abortion? She like 5. She was like, it was whatever months, right? So say it's like 4 months, 5 months. I'm like, after which birthday? She like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm up. I just want to know, like, before puberty, can you just get like a late one? You know what I'm saying? Could you like drop them off at a shelter? You know what I mean? Treat them like that puppy that keeps shitting on the lawn or something like that.
NASA space program.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Get them out of here. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just one of them things that just people just gotta understand. It's like when you got kids, it's like that's a traumatic experience.
There's no book for
it. And there ain't no book, and ain't no way you're gonna get it right. So I mean, people gotta parent the way they want to parent. The thing I don't want to hear people saying is telling other people how to parent. Now, granted, we should all know what a high level of abuse is. Right. Right. Like if somebody out there shooting a fade with their 8-year-old,
that's the problem.
That's the problem. Right. Like if you're out there shooting a fade with your 8-year-old, unless it's me, if you see me shooting a fade with my 8-year-old, help me. Because I'm probably about to get my ass dropped because my 8-year-old big as hell. But like, you know what I mean? It's some things that we like universal we gonna be on board with. But people got different things. Like you got people that say, oh, you shouldn't be vegan, you mistreating the kids, or you shouldn't be doing this and that.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinion.
Everybody say that, but guess what?
You can have your opinion. I believe you have your opinion.
Cool.
If you're a parent, have your opinion. Those who don't have kids, don't say shit to me about my goddamn.
Don't be coming to me. Don't be coming to me with no shenanigans. You shouldn't do that to your kid. Didn't your kid just shoot up a school? Don't tell me about what my kid doing. My kid was out here looking at. So I checked his browser history and was not pleased.
Not pleased.
You know what I'm saying? You just got a call from the police department telling you to come down here and get your kid. Like I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. So let's rock through these comments right quick and get out of here.
I would appreciate you guys in the chat too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we got go back up here to. Oh, so Wick, aka OG Birdseed.
Birdseed.
You know what I'm saying? He said all I do is enhance cell phone restrictions. That works.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that to our kids too. That especially our daughter here. Like, yeah, take a cell phone, you're taking a life, and she's the best person without it.
The greatest person ever. As soon as you get that cell phone back, that shit is like giving Spider-Man the symbiote. It's like making Venom. You give him the symbiote, and it's like, I want to eat people.
I'd be regretful. I was like, I give it. It's like
begrudgingly.
Here,
it'll be back in 2 weeks.
Here.
Yeah. Dave said, as an adult, I understood why I got him. Talking about ass whoopings, but back then I was packing my favorite toy and I was out.
He was ready to go.
So I
had a little blanket on your shoulder. Let's go.
Yeah. So my mom's, man, I called her bluff one day, right? And I told her, shoot, whoop my ass. A whole bunch of stuff happened. I'm like, you know what? I'm running away. So I go ahead and I pack my little stuff and I'm gonna play. Man, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm running away. This and that. Da 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 da. She gave me $20 and dropped my ass off at the Greyhound bus station.
Go.
Let me tell you something that I did not pay good attention on how to get to the Greyhound bus station.
Because you didn't know how to get back
I
home.
did not know how to get back home. And let me tell you something.
She was banking on that. She was banking on you not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to get rid of my ass. But little for her to know, I did know how to make a collect call. And I called my grandma. And Nana came and got me. And Nana and Pop cussed her ass out. My grandparents gave her the business. Going to leave me at the Greyhound bus. I was scared as hell because she left and she ain't. It got dark. Like I went and as a kid, when it's light out and then it get dark, that felt like I was out. I was out there for 4 days.
Just doing whatever.
No, I was at the Greyhound bus station. I wasn't playing. I didn't know what the hell to do. I'm at the Greyhound bus station.
So nobody said anything about you being there by
about
yourself?
The kid with the book bag at the Greyhound bus station.
Right.
Nobody say nothing.
How old were you?
I know I wasn't in second grade because in second grade we was in North Carolina, so I wasn't in second grade.
So, oh my God, you still a baby. Like what? Bruh. So nobody said nothing about this baby had the Greyhound with a bus.
Looking like a bobblehead. I'm out there looking like a lollipop with a book bag on my shoulders. I'm out there. I just bright or whatever. I ain't know what the hell to do. Gave me $20 too, boy. That $20, even and we talking what we talking about late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, like late. They ain't last too long either. That $20, I had to get changed and then go to the snack machine. I was living out the snack machine, so Nana came to get me. Like times was rough. Your boy did not know how to manage money in first grade.
Now for you being that age, I know it seems like all this time. It probably was like 20 minutes, guys.
Oh yeah. It was probably but I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying about like the sun was up. And then the sun was down. So, to me, I was there for 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, I was there for 4 days. I ain't eat. I was in Auschwitz. Like shit was rough for you, boy. Like, I was out there suffering. My whole life flashed before my eyes like 12 times because it wasn't that long. It wasn't a whole lot to play.
Probably brought you there right before twilight. So, you got 15 minutes, and then it got dark. Mm-hmm. That's what really happened.
And then this is the worst thing. Nana came to get me. I stayed over there at Nana's house. Went home, raw ass whooping. I'm talking about raw ass whooping. When I mean like one of them ass whoopings that it's like, I still taste the pennies in my mouth, that blood flow, like raw ass whooping. All right, so Hicks said, what did he say? Spanking has its place to prevent a child from doing something that could hurt themselves. If they sticking a knife in a light socket or something, but outside of that, it's better to learn why the kid is acting up and fix the issue. Cursing at them does nothing but teach them bad words.
So I'm going to speak on that part when you were talking about teaching them for doing something that'll harm them. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because you can tell them and give them the reasons why it'll harm them, right? You can do whatever. You can still spank them. There are people in this world, children, who still have their own journey to take. So they will still stick their hands inside that socket.
Yeah.
They will still stick some foreign object inside that socket because they have to feel it.
Yeah.
They have to feel it. They have to go through the experiences in order for them to learn. That's a part of their soul growth. So that's what they're going to do. So I don't agree with what you said about, it teaches them, to do away from things that harms them. I think that you can tell them, you can show them somebody else who has a YouTube video, because I'm sure it's out there, of sticking something in the socket and getting electrocuted. And then they'll see that, okay, you make that connection on your own. But then they're still going to go ahead and do what they need to do for their own experience.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's just everything work different. I think of kids a lot like dogs. You know, I always say that to defend people, and I'm like training and raising kids is like training dogs. Like you can get two dogs from the same litter, and they completely different. In fact, we have two puppies here in the living room right now.
Yeah,
We got Coco's what, maybe 11 months, 10, 11 months or something like that.
11 months.
I mean, weeks.
I'll go 11 weeks old.
11
we got
weeks,
her
whatever.
December.
That's the one y'all
26th.
seen on the previous podcast, the little chocolate pit bull and whatever, the little brown one with the red nose. And then we got I think we sticking with Rocky.
Yeah.
I was calling him Joseph Stalin. Should be called what you call him? What you call him?
calling him Sir Charles, Michael,
Sir Charles,
Boy
Philip,
George,
Bartholomew.
Anytime we see him, he's a different name.
Yeah, Orgenthal, Orenthal or whatever. We were calling him whatever. OJ the Juice Man. Call him whatever the hell coming to mind, right? But every one of them different, right? You can give two kids the exact same thing. You can get two kids the exact same thing, and then one kid is still gonna have all these issues and everything else or whatever, right? So I mean, it's nothing that you could do about it, right? Like kids are just gonna be different, right? They're just like dogs, right?
Yeah.
Except for at least dogs you could leave in a crate and go out for like 4 hours or something like that and leave their ass there or something like that. And you feed them and you treat them halfway decent and they'll be grateful and they'll love you. These ungrateful ass kids, you could walk through hell barefoot for them and all you're going to have is an ulcer and burnt feet.
Ulcer and burnt feet. Yeah, for real.
What do you say? That?
Oh, okay. So basically.
So we got kids running through the house right now being just as loud as possible, slamming damn doggy doors and everything else. But Dave said that's my motto, got it on the shirt and all. Fuck them kids. Yes, I agree. I would like one of those in a double XL. Thank you, sir. Let me know what your PayPal is. Mario came back through. I agree with Fox though. You can do everything right as a parent and they still act the fool. Facts. The kids are assholes. They're their own individuals. All we can do is teach them right and wrong. I hope they make the right decisions. Yep, whole lot of hope.
The same way that we had to when we were younger.
Yeah.
So we didn't. That's because our parents told us not to do something, and we knew the reasons why we shouldn't do it. We still went ahead and did it. We had to have our own experiences.
Yeah.
That's what we come to this life to do. Have experiences, so that way we can grow and advance and ascend.
And I give you an example. I got two out of all the 7 that we have together. My dear beloved child, please don't slam that doggy door. So what we have is like we'll have a lot of times where we have kids do different things, right? So for instance, I have an older child, and that was just an example right there why, Dave, I need one of them shirts. Right there. Fuck them kids. But so my oldest biological child is 18. My youngest is 8. My 18-year-old, when he was young, I used to tell him, no, don't touch the stove. Pop his little hand, stay away from the stove, this and that, and the third. You know what happened in the end? He touched the stove, burnt his hand. I was like, oh, no, why'd you touch the stove? I told you not to touch the stove, this and that, da-da-da-da. Cool. My 8-year-old told him don't touch the stove. Pointed at the stove, brought him close to the stove. This hot, it's going to hurt real bad. Do you understand? He's like, yeah, this and that. He touched the stove. Either way I did it, both of these clowns touched the stove and they had to learn the lesson. So you know what, at the end of the day, if it's not life-threatening or it's not like something that's detrimental, you got to let them go to their own journey. Like if they out here like they want to go ahead and like join the prostitution ring, start selling drugs, or join a gang or some shit, sure, then we got to interfere or something. But some things you just got to be like, yo, if I want you to play basketball and you want to be on the chess team, all right, cool. You still got to do some type of workout. You got to let them go their journey.
Even with that, like, they still gonna take their journey if that's what they want to do. Then you can intervene all you want to. They still gonna, we are determined individuals. When we want something, we want it, and we're gonna try. We're gonna experience it. It doesn't matter what you say.
And if we fuck it up, it was something else that made it fuck it up. We're gonna do it again to make sure.
Guide them, right? We're gonna do it again the best way.
Got to do it twice to make sure you don't like it.
So you just have to, as parents, you just have to guide them the best way you can. Let them know that you're open enough to come. They can come to you to ask questions, to walk them through the thought process, play it out for them, the scenarios. Like, that's the only thing that we can do with our kids, because that's the things that our parents should have done or was doing for us as well.
Well, probably did. So we'll see. Or didn't. But now we know, right? Because a lot of times, just like leadership, I learned way more from shitty leaders than I learned from great leaders, because I had way more shitty leaders. And I learned, if nothing, what tools not to keep in the toolbox. So Wick said, I love giving them the why to my subordinates and kids. When people understand their responsibility, then they know what my vision is. They can get with it and calm down. Yeah, it helps. You give them the why. Sometimes they go with it, but still, sometimes we're talking about kids. Subordinates usually a little easier, where it's like you give people the vision. It's better for task completion because it's like if you can't complete that task 100% because you're missing something and you don't got something, you understand what my vision is. So you're like, oh, well, I could do this, that, and the third, and that'll still meet the intent of what he wanted or something like that, right? So then we got Dave, what he say? Me and my brother joke. They don't got an age limit, and when you can drop the kid off at the fire station, with a kid, you can drop the kid off at the fire station. Oh, he's saying they ain't got no age limit when you drop the kid off at the fire station. Shit, let me tell you. So I packed this damn carb right now. I got a 3/4 tank of gas.
Place.
They said he gonna make it happen with me for the shirt. That's what I'm talking about. My boy, Skittles in the hand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got to see it through. So while we talking about a wild story, I don't know. Did I tell you about with Titan? When Titan texted me about his mom.
Put your hands on my thighs.
So my youngest biological child. So the 8-year-old, everybody know him as King Titan, right? He is, if you know me personally, he's the younger one that looks just like me, fat face, full of life, crazy dude, right? So he texts me, he like, hey, mom's being bad. And he's up to like, oh, mom's being bad? We got a puppy going crazy upstairs. But it's like, mom's being bad? I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Then I text him back. I'm like, what mom doing? He texts me back the next day. It's already yesterday. It doesn't matter. So I'm like, all right, dude, whatever.
Yeah.
So then he texts me again. Dad, mom's being bad again. So I called his mother for something, my ex-wife. I called her. I'm like, I forgot what I was talking to her about. And I'm like, hey, and you know how when kids are, whenever they do something, you say they the other parents' kids. When it's up like when the kid good, like when he do phenomenal stuff, that's my son. When he jacks something up, that's her son, and vice versa. Like when he do all great at the school and they talk about he's so brilliant, then it's her son. But then when he mess around and do some wild shit, it's like, you know what your son did today, right? So I'm up like, yo, Titan called me and tell me what happened. So I asked him first. I asked Titan, I'm like, yo, what happened? What you mean, mom being bad? He like, so I was minding my business, jumping on the bed again, and then she got mad and yelled at me and popped me. I'm like, so you was minding your business, jumping on the bed again, and then she yelled at you and popped you. So I'm thinking he on his bed. This and that. I'm like, well, baby, you ain't supposed to be jumping on the bed. So then I talked to her the next day, and she'll be like, oh, I'm like, I don't know why he be calling you like you my daddy or something. This and that. And then I'm gonna be like, yeah, he said he was jumping on the bed. First of all, he was jumping on my bed while I was asleep in the bed, jumping on me, this and that. And I'm up to like, Titan, you left some of the story out. You know what Titan gonna say? Well, first of all, when I told Titan that he ain't supposed to be jumping on the bed, I told him that. I texted him back. First thing he said, he texted me back semantics. So I told him, I'm up here like, hey, what did your mom do? Oh, y'all gotta excuse the puppy going crazy in the background. But I'm like, what your mom? I'm up like, yeah, I texted you back yesterday. He's like, it was already yesterday. He's like, I texted you back 15 minutes afterwards. He's like, semantics. I'm like, this dude texted me back semantics. So then I talked to his mom. We talked to his mom and everything, and I'm like, hey, she told me what happened, and then we're going back and forth. We're doing this, that, and third, and it's just wild because I muted your mic. Yeah, so I'm sitting there talking to his mom, and then she tell me like, yeah, he jumped on the bed, he did this and that. I'm like, Titan, you ain't even telling me you was jumping on her bed. He's like, oh well, Dad, sometimes in times of stress, details are left out, right? Though, so I'm sorry. So I'm like, yo, this come from 8-year-old, right? Like, how wild is that? Then she come to tell me that they was fussing about something. They was going back and forth. They was fussing about something. And then Titan says to his mom, she was up there like, oh, he was like, I'm gonna call and tell Dad. And she was like, what you gonna tell your dad for? He ain't my daddy. My daddy dead. He was up there like, good for you. That's what you get. That's what Titan said to his mom. Good for you. That's what you get. And I'm like, this dude cold blooded. Like he don't know no better. My young, Titan, he got autism or something like that. So he kind of don't get how deep he cutting or something like that. But he gonna go ahead and let you know he does not approve. He is not happy about your shenanigans or whatever, right? So I don't know. That was wild, the wild story for me with Titan just on the shenanigans, and we just dealing with we dealing with as much as we can right now because we got children, we got puppies running around, attacking, peeing in rooms, kids going crazy. We got a lot going on. That deserved the chop in the throat with that comeback. Yeah, you right, Dave. She should have chopped him in the throat. I would have, because I'll fight him. Like I said, I'll fight my 8-year-old. Yeah. So what's up, Fox? What you doing over there? Oh, you got to get your trying to duck from the camera. Trying to duck for the camera and get to that news. All right, baby, you ready for the gun in your head?
Yeah.
Did we have anything else that we need to close it up? We ran this one pretty long.
This one was pretty long, but it's because you guys are all interacting, and so we love you guys and we appreciate you guys. So
Yeah.
let's see what we got here.
And like I said, you got to
Yes,
forgive us
you
because
said
we
12.
do
Let's
shoot
get
our
it.
podcast from home. So we
Fine.
still got kids and dogs and everything else. And Fox wanted a boy puppy, so now we got 2 puppies. Once the puppies start looking
I told
good,
y'all about my midlife crisis. Okay,
2
I
damn
just turned
puppies.
37 and
2 damn puppies.
2 puppies within a week apart from each other.
Nah, it was 2-week difference.
It was
yeah.
a 2 weeks.
Coco, we had Coco for 2 weeks before we got Rocky.
Before we got Rocky. Okay, yeah. So Rocky is new. He's been with us maybe a week now.
Yeah, because today Monday. Yeah, it's about a week.
Yeah.
Because we got him on like that.
Oh yeah, we got him on Sunday. Yeah, so
Yeah, so it's about a week.
yeah, so a week and a day he's been with us.
Completely different dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hit it.
Oh yeah.
It takes.
I mean, I got to reach all the way over here when you right there by the board.
Oh.
Gun to your head, Fox.
Gun to your head. Gun to your head. Would you rather get $1 million right now or $100 every day forever?
I usually would say I'm like I want to say that like, oh, I'm so business savvy. If you gave me $1 million, I'd do this and that. Give me that $100 a day.
$100 a day.
Give me that $100 a day. Because think about it. At the end of the day, it's a good grip of money. You know what I'm saying? $100 a day. It's like I'm doing all right.
Forever.
Yeah, you know
it's like forever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing all right. $100 a day on top of everything I'm doing, and it's like, let me retire from the military and go ahead and give me $100 a day. It's like I am doing phenomenal out here. Like there's probably nothing that'll take care of most of the problems. Like $1 million would be like instant influx of money. I could do some stuff with, invest, and do everything else. But $100 a day, that lets me know they're like, hey, shit getting paid. You know what I'm saying? $100 a day, yeah. I know shit getting paid. You know what I mean? $3,000 a month. I'm doing all right.
So for me, I would take the meal, a milli.
So what you gonna do with the meal?
Because whatever I want to do with the meal, and I'm gonna take the meal because it's like $100 a day. You know, you times that by 365. Let's say 20 years times by 20 years. It's only $730,000. I'm gonna take that $1 million and do whatever I need to do.
I don't know why I was thinking $1,000 a day. When you just said it, I'm gonna put like, oh, that shit is $100.
I'm gonna take the cool meal.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Nah, you probably right. I probably would do. You didn't roll me on it. I don't know why I was thinking 1,000. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of that one of them games was like $1,000 a day or a week for life or something like that. I was thinking about one of them lotto tickets, and that's what's in my head instead of the actual
Publishers
numbers.
Clearinghouse. Y'all mamas and grandmamas and aunties been playing Publishers Clearinghouse. Has any one of them ever won that money that we see on TV?
They still out there. And
I need to know about this because I entered into Publishers Clearinghouse a long time ago and I ain't win a damn thing.
Not a goddamn thing. What's that? What's it called? Mandela effect. What was it about? I told you about Publishing Clearinghouse.
Oh no, I don't remember. Like you think about a Monopoly Man or something.
No. Publishing Clearinghouse, Mandela effect. Ed McMahon was never the dude on Publishing Clearinghouse. You remember how you remember it being Ed McMahon?
Clearinghouse.
Remember Ed McMahon would come and bring the big novelty checks to people's house when they won?
I think Ed McMahon was the star, what was the talent showcase called? Star something. Star Search.
Well, I guess you probably the only
Wasn't
person
Ed
who the hell he
McMahon
was.
on Star Search?
Yeah, I guess she was the only person. Because everybody else thought Ed McMahon was on
Publishing Clearinghouse?
He never worked for Publishing Clearinghouse. I don't know.
Did he do a video?
Nothing.
Or something?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They never even hired a person to be their spokesperson, and it was the Prize Patrol, not McMahon, that showed up on the doorsteps with the giant check.
Prize Patrol.
Well, I guess you're the only person who remembered it. You ain't even know the difference between Buffalo and Bison. You ain't about to sit here and disrespect me. You ain't about to sit here and disrespect me. Nah, man. Hey, yo, I'm on some. You
mad because you didn't get
I'm on some NIM shit. Yo, don't ever disrespect. Yo, don't even disrespect. Hold on. You about to disrespect me and you didn't know that Cash Rules Everything Around Me was the reason the song was named Cream, and you about to sit here and look at me crazy and sideways? The audacity.
We ending this here, okay? Let me chop you off, okay? So, guys, thank you for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We appreciate all of your interactions here, your support, the topics that you guys send in to us. Keep them coming. Ask Uncle Legend at gmail.com. So we can get those suggestions, any videos y'all want to send us to react to, anything that you guys have in your mind as far as a segment. So hit us up. We appreciate your support as always. Peace.
Peace.
Why you hit my leg?
Shh. Recording. I mean, I guess we ain't really recording because your boy didn't actually hit the audio. God damn, I'm fired.
You can strip because you're a good.
I can strip because
you're
I'm
a tech guy now.
Hold on.
I just want to see you strip.
I ain't messing with you. Let me get up and go turn all this shit off. Thank you, everybody who came in. Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube.
Thanks, Brad.
Appreciate you. Brad and Dave with the killer support in the chat and everything.
Mario,
appreciate it. Mario. Yeah, appreciate it. He said, great show. Next time we going to watch it. I want to hear that Biden speech.
Somebody going to watch it high.
It should have played through on the audio, but
y'all
I
didn't
don't
hear
know.
it. Let us know if y'all.
Yeah, let us know if it didn't. That was my first time patching it in from the computer. Usually I do it from my cell phone, but I got my cell phone up for Instagram because Instagram got a different aspect ratio. So it is what it is. And guess what we forgot to do on Instagram?
What?
I ain't even plugged the goddamn mic in, so they just been hearing loud ass house audio. They heard everything.
Where does they say?
No, they heard everything on.
Oh well, okay, well.
Well, we gonna delete that.
Did you hear us?